Disclaimer: crypto investments are highly speculative and involve significant risk of loss. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Always do your own research and invest wisely.
The evolution of the EOS-IO code base. Natural selection, in biology, is the process whereby organisms better adapted to their environment tend to survive and produce more offspring. The term is often used when observing genetic adaptation within nature, when animals naturally improve to be more suited towards whatever environment they happen to find themselves in. And just like in nature, something similar to this can also occur within the world of coding. In this video we'll be going over a recent article I read by Dan Larimer called Mandel to Takeover EOS-IO in 2022, and I will be giving you my opinion on what I think about it. Links to the original will be in the description below. Okay, now let's get started. To summarize and paraphrase, the article first begins with EOS Mandel 3.0. Over 2 years have passed since EOS-IO 2.0 was released. EOS-IO 2.1 and 2.2 have been released since then, but the Clarion OS team and the broader EOS community do not want all code included in the newer releases. The Clarion OS team will now fork the EOS-IO code repository into Mandel, short for Mandelbrot. The Mandel name is temporary until all EOS-IO powered blockchains agree. Mandel 3.0 will be based on EOS-IO 2.0, with some valuable upgrades from EOS-IO 2.1 and 2.2. Contract pays and enhanced configurable blockchain params are new hard forks in Mandel 3.0. It will also hard fork EOS-IO 2.1's configurable WASM limits. EOS infrastructure nodes and other downstream software have upgraded to EOS-IO 2.1. So, Clarion OS will release Mandel 2.3 developed from EOS-IO 2.1, which cherry-picks support for the new hard forks enabled by Mandel 3.0. Nodes using EOS-IO 2.1 should be able to effortlessly upgrade to Mandel 2.3. Clarion OS will try to move as many EOS-IO 2.1 enhancements as feasible to Mandel 3.0 without delaying important hard forks. Featured hard forks. WASM limits settable. This hard fork allows block producers to install larger, more powerful smart contracts. For security reasons, EOS-IO must limit parameters like memory and function count. When a contract reaches one of these restrictions, developers must split their code amongst contracts. Prior to EOS VM, the original restrictions were set. We now feel secure raising these boundaries. We made them adjustable rather than a one-time increase. This allows the network the ability to expand in the future or adjust in the event of an assault. Making programs easy to use is a difficult task for developers. Requiring users to lease CPU, net, and RAM resources from the network is a huge usability issue. This means that in an ideal world, the smart contract would cover all resource costs. In its current form, EOS mandates that every transaction be signed by one key and every permission level have a threshold of 1. This limits the ability of contracts to buy resources. Contract pays doesn't require a hard fork, but the hack includes releasing a private key that anybody may sign with. This burdens the network when the same transaction may be made without any keys signing it. Despite the fact that EOS-IO 2.1 includes this capability, the Clarion OS team believes it should be improved. Contract upgrades. To enable the contract pays feature, the Clarion OS team has submitted a pull request to the EOS system contact. This will allow apps to improve user experiences while waiting for the hard fork. Timeline. The following timeline is aspirational and subject to change as development indicates. January 31st, 2022 release candidate of Mandel 3.0. February 2022 Mandel 3.0 test network launched and community validation. March 1st, 2022 final release of Mandel 3.0. March 2nd, 2022 network deploys contract pays system contract. April 1st, 2022 Mandel 2.3 released. April 9th, 2022 next Eden election. May 19th, 2022 hard forks activated. Golden ratio divide of the year 2022. This will mark the symbolic completion of EOS independence from Block 1 because it will be the first time the EOS network is running a version of the software not developed or released by Block 1. Funding. The EOS Network Foundation has agreed to pay Clarion OS 200,000 EOS upon delivery of the Mandel 3.0 release candidate, pending block producer clearance, January 31st, 2022. Clarion OS will then assist the community with bug solutions uncovered during testing. Future plans. This roadmap is the first phase of a multi-year plan to reinvigorate EOS. The next roadmap update will feature 3-second finality, intrinsic to speed up EVM support, and intrinsic functions to speed up privacy applications. Just my opinion, but I believe this is a difficult but necessary step in the right direction. For those of you that are fully aware of the recent interviews done by Wire News, I think it's pretty clear that there was much more going on behind the scenes that the average community member could not possibly know. And in my opinion, the situation has devolved past the point of true reconciliation, in the fullest sense of the word. I get it, and I'll be the first to say that in a perfect world the best outcome would be for all parties to put aside past grievances and focus on the future of EOS. But realistically, I suspect that's no longer truly an option, or at least not in any real legitimate sense. But I don't believe it necessarily has to be either a bad thing or good thing. One thing that I have learned about life in general is, oftentimes life gives you unexpected results, and as the saying goes, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Sometimes it's necessary to just stop trying to force a square peg in a round hole, and focus on what we do have. Yes, moving away from Block 1 may cost the EOS community future support, but we also cannot be blind to the fact that our association with Block 1 has not always been positive, both supportively, as well as reputationally. And sometimes the best thing for all parties involved is to simply let things happen organically, and what will be, will be. But regardless of what happens in the future, Dan Larimer has given us a new and decisive path forward, and I would say arguably this could work out even better than our original collective goals. This new code-based arrangement, it seems to me, will be far more flexible and responsive to the community, without being overly concerned with the rigors and hurdles of burdensome regulations, that tends to more often than not be the case with multi-billion-dollar corporations. This new model will also be much more adaptable to the needs of EOS-IO blockchain community needs, without having conflict of interest, and having to balance focuses between shareholders and blockchain community needs. I would say it's way past time that we had organizations and structures that put the EOS community first, for a change. And I, for one, am looking forward to what EOS priority-focused organizations can do with proper funding. To all EOS holders, EOS community needs must come first.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you would like to read, listen to, or watch more of this kind of content, please visit us at www.cryptoapologetics.com. See you next time. Take care.